Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bible study. Today we are going to study about Psalm 45. I was studying about Songs of Solomon. It's called the Songs of Songs, and this is actually kind of related to it. Let's dive in. So Psalm 45, it's about Jesus and his bride. His bride is us, the church. And it says in the first, my heart is stirred by a noble theme as I recite my verses for the king. It's about the wedding of the bride, us, with Jesus. So my heart is stirred by a noble theme. It's about is a wedding. As a result, it's more like sharing the vowels when you share when you get married. I like this part. It says, my tongue is the pen of skillful writer. We have technology this time. I know when this psalm was written, it was not by David. They didn't even have technology or we have right now. But I have the technology. I read my book by talking and the computer is writing. And I can say my tongue is the pen of the skillful writer. It's my tongue is talking and the computer's writing, but that time was not such thing, which whenever we say through our mouth is like a pen of a skillful writer. It should be like when you say vowel to when you get married, it should be something nice. It should be something that you address from your heart. It's what I try to say here when you get married. But now the how much love we have for Jesus, it's your tongue is saying those things to Jesus, probably say every day. And then here we go. You can recite this on your husband, if you have one, for Shabbat time, for Saturday evening, when he recites over you Proverbs 31 and you recite this Psalm 45. But it's this one specific, I say, is addressed to the bride of Christ and Jesus. And now the bride, which is us, we describe Jesus right now. And we say, you are the most excellent of men. It's try to picture a man that is the most excellent, but here is Jesus, the most excellent of men. And your lips have been anointed with grace. Why? Because whenever it speaks righteousness out of it. Since God has blessed you forever. Wow. So I like the picture that is that's us. And there is, as I say, compare with the songs of Solomon, and I put, in going reading that and reading this is it is a comparison. So there are stages in our life that we gotta accomplish. Then we go closer and closer, and as we have time of tribulation, struggling, we have trials, we go through different things in our lives, but that shouldn't pull us down, should have put us up. And going through those, we acknowledge that the love of God is much higher than any precious stones, any gold, any silver, and you embrace that love so much in your heart as you move on, and you have another steps, like we go on the stairs, but steps after steps, and then till at one point will be when you embrace so much the love of God that you are like a bride. You feel like you're a bride, and you can recite this over Jesus. But there are steps till we get there. We have our lives to go through it. and sometimes it's not easy. I'm telling you from my own experiences. So, but it doesn't get worse, even though you feel in your body, you feel this and this, and you don't want to feel like pain or any emotional things that you're going through right now. You don't want to go. But those, like when you put yourself, like when you get in that fire, like a precious gold, it's coming like the pure gold is coming through big fire. To remove those impurities, it takes a long time and it's a process, and remove all this residual, and then you get a pure gold. We get to that stage that will be focused only on Jesus and his work, and we'll get off the distractions, TV and all other things, because sometimes TV gets you depressed just to look to the news. I don't even turn the TV for I don't know how many years now. I have the phone that I get sometimes, like what's going on in the world, just like skimming on the surface, trying not to get myself hooked up on those. But to be a, I would try to say, to be a bride that Jesus is looking for, we are just going to step higher and higher as you read the Bible, pray, and stick with God. Even in trials, it gets that much love for Jesus to be amplified, because you know he is there for you, but he let you in that trial to go in your own, because you're experiencing your own like flesh, I will say. But coming out of that, like three in the fire, coming out of that, well, they were like four with Jesus being in there, or like in Daniel, like three in the fire, but I think Jesus was with them, or maybe just an angel. So going through the fire, going through the tribulation and all that, you come out of it changed. The love of God changes you inside out, because you know the Redeemer is there. He doesn't let you fall. He is with you if you need help. But sometimes we have to go through this by ourselves. And to the other end, God is waiting on us. So it's more into the Solomon Songs of Solomon. Probably I will do one, because there's so many chapters. Maybe we'll do one at a time to go through it. It's a comparison again, is with the bride, how he gets to be a bride, and the bride of Jesus, and how is the preparation and where she's going through. And it's lovely. But we have Jesus, and he's the most excellent of men, because he walked on this earth. He did walk on this earth as a man, right? Even though he's the Son of God. And his lips are anointed with grace. His lips are anointed, period. They're anointed. Whenever it comes out from his lips, you feel like the honey, or whenever those words is like, even if you stay long enough with Jesus, even your voice changes, your attitude changes, your behavior changes, your character, you get softer inside. You have that love that pours out. And let's move on. Gird your sword on your side. Now he's portrayed like a warrior. Gird your sword on your side, you mighty one, because Jesus is the mighty one. Clothe yourself with splendor and majesty. I do call God sometimes in my prayer, I call him splendor of majesty, because he had that splendor, and he is the majesty. And this is portrayed Jesus. In your majesty, ride forth victoriously in the case of truth, humility, and justice. And if somebody is humble, even though he has a crown and he is Jesus, he is humble. He brings the truth, the righteousness, the justice. He's victorious in everything. Let your right hand achieve awesome deeds. And he does achieve awesome deeds, just saying in our lives. He achieved awesome deeds when he was on this earth. Verse 5, let your sharp arrows pierce the hearts of the king's enemy. King is God the Father. And it says to Jesus, let your sharp arrows pierce the hearts of king's enemy. The enemy is like, there is also Psalm 91 when it says, I'm not afraid, I have no fear of the terror by night, neither the arrows that flies by day, because God is protecting me. But now it says that those arrows to pierce the heart of the enemy, because those arrows will go not in our heart, will go in the enemy's heart, because Jesus is, it says like his arrows will go to the kings. I mean, whoever is against God, they receive those arrows. Let the nations fall beneath your feet. But Jesus says he has the dominion over all the nations, and they should fall beneath his feet. Whenever he comes, whenever he is, they do fall beneath his feet. Your throne, O God, will last forever and ever. And that's true. Nobody can touch and take it away, because he is God. He created everything. A scepter of justice will be the scepter of your kingdom. A scepter is the one that the king has, a specific one, like it's long and then has the top like that, like a notch here. And it says here that a scepter is of justice, because with that, if you do not, like an Esther time, if he would not, the king would not stretch the scepter um, towards the one who's coming in the courts, or in the whenever he's ruling, that gets killed. So Esther got a chance, that she took the chances. So she came into the courts where he was ruling, or he had either, I don't know, meetings or whenever, like he's ruling as a king. And the king stretched the scepter, and Esther grabbed it, touched it, and that she could come in, and she was not killed. But that's a scepter of justice. So justice, like he rules with a scepter, will be the scepter of your kingdom. So the scepter of justice will be the scepter of your kingdom. And that's the bride say, we are saying that. We are saying to Jesus that, because his scepter of justice will be the scepter of his kingdom. Wow. Let's move on. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. And that's who God is. And of course, Jesus is the same. He loves righteousness. Anything that is in righteous, he loves it, and hates wickedness. And will not promote that. Will not, for example, will not judge right now wicked people. But he likes righteousness for sure. So if you are in a wicked state, and you better come to Jesus, I will say, better come to God. Therefore, God, your God, has set you above your companion. So it's talking about Jesus, like he was set. So your God, your Father, Jesus, your Father, set you above your companion by anointing you with the oil of joy. And Jesus has joy. He danced. Think about the wedding in Cana. He was dancing with his well, there wasn't apostles then, there were disciples. He was dancing at the weddings. And also at they have feast of I would say tabernacle, usually when they dance. He danced. He has joy. You probably didn't meet Jesus with that joy, with dancing. He's just different. He likes he has humor. He has a sense of humor. Let's go in verse 8. All your robes are fragrant with myrrh and aloes and cassia. From palaces adorned with ivory, the music of the strings makes you glad. Well, the robes fragrant like myrrh is usually when they embalm people when they die in the time of Jesus, but has a specific fragrance. Yes, it does. Aloes, we know, and cassia, they're coming from palaces adorned with ivory, with a color like that. I would say more like white. The music of the strings makes you glad because the music is praising him and worship him and makes him glad. Of course, if you start praising God right now, praising Jesus, do you think he will not be glad? He will be glad. He will have joy in his heart because you are bringing him this, you honor him with music, with and it's like strings means like any instruments with a strings, like I would say guitar, for example. I used to play guitar a while back. Now my son does. Verse 9, daughters of kings are among your honored women because um, daughters of kings, maybe kings of this earth, but they're daughters. So they're among your honored women. It says like in among the kingdom, he is everybody's honoring him, I would say. I know it says honor among your honor women. There are at your right hand is the royal bride in gold of Ophir. So I like that. We are at his right hand, are we? You and me. We are the bride. And we are like a bride in gold. And I don't see myself wearing nothing in gold, but God says so, so we are. And it's a special gold because it's like from Ophir. Wow. Next, now. So it says about the bride now a little bit. And there says some gold. It's gold. I would say goldish. Everything is like even around up here and around the waist, around the sleeves here. It's gold. Listen, daughter, and pay careful attention. Forget your people and your father's house. Okay, so it's talking about even like to us, like we are daughters of God, but forget your people because when and in your father's house, because when you do that, it's when you step into like so when you get married, you have to move on. You're not going to move in your with your husband with the whole family. Some cultures they do that, but you forget your people in your father's house because you're going to move on. So if you just bring that culture and everybody else with you, you have to be just you and your husband, which is the bride. So you have to establish that relation with Jesus. I'll say you have to have that intimate relationship, like a husband and wife. And that's why here it says, forget your people and your father's house. Let you have that relation with Jesus. Let the king be enthralled by your beauty. Yes, because he considers you beautiful. That's why he's calling you as to come as a bride. But you have to leave all what is holding you behind. Your father's house is holding you behind and you don't want to leave because you look back. You are not to be one of his bride. You're not to be the bride. You have to forget, like, well, I can't leave my culture behind. I know Jesus is calling me for doing this and this, but I can't leave that. I can't leave that. I can't. So that means you are not entitled to follow Jesus to be his bride. So you have to forget, is what it says here, your people in your father's house. Let the king be enthralled by your beauty. Honor him, for he is your Lord. Honor, honor with anything. In praises, honor him. In anything that you have, honor him, because he is your Lord. Verse 12, the city of Tyre will come with a gift. That was in old time, that was a very, very wealthy city that will bring from there. Even like you say in Proverbs 31, the lady that is portrayed there, as she's blessed and she's working with her hands and does all these, it's a righteous woman portrayed there. She's getting from all these, even the colors for her linen, the colors is coming from the city of Tyre, from that part, and she will get like buys from the merchandise is coming on the ocean, on the sea. So, and they have like specific things just there, but it says the city of Tyre will come with a gift. Will it come with a gift for your wedding? So will bring you gift. People of wealth will seek your favor. If you leave your father's house, forget your people, because I know you can't, those things cannot pull you back. Honor, because God sees your beauty. Jesus sees your beauty. He wants you as his bride. And you will receive, I'll say, it says a gift, but I'll say gifts. And also it says like people, wealthy people will seek your favor, will come to you with to seek favor from you. People of wealth will seek your favor. Wow. And because not everybody, it's just think like wealthy people, and they don't have wisdom. I don't know how they acquire their wealth, but they acquire without the wisdom. Wisdom is different than just being smart or intelligent. Is different. So people of wealth will seek your favor, and will come with gifts. Verse 13, all glorious is the princess within her chamber. Her gown is interwoven with gold. You are a princess. We are a princess. We are. Well, just think about that. You are a princess. And you have like her gown is interwoven with gold. And you can see, that's why I chose that picture. In embroidered garments, she is led to the king. Now she has embroidery. It's not much used this time. Sometimes we have it embroidery on the pants. We used to, as the fashion changes, and we have on the top. I liked it a lot, but sometimes we don't have that. We used to have like embroideries even on the where you sleep on the pillowcases in the old time, that they had the initials of the noble people, and but embroideries on the garments, like she has, I would say, around her waist, might be some kind of embroidery, and then around her neck, in embroidered garments, she's led to the king. Her virgin companions follow her, which that means it tells you who are her companion, are selected people. Virgin, they are like very righteous ladies that they did not put, like they're not like just, they're selected people, I would say, selected people that goes in her companion, not just anybody. They are, it says her virgin companion follow her. Young, but it tells you like they're more like young, but also dedicated to her. Those brought to be with her. Who brought them? Jesus, God himself, God the Father. Because if you can select, you're born in a family, sometimes you don't want to be there, but you can select your friends, your companion, who's going to be with you, who's accompanying you, who's going to help you, or you help other, them as well. But in this case, like they're helping you. They're more like destiny helpers, but selected one. So they are selected by God, because it says those brought to be with her. They were brought. She has selected them, but most of the way it looks here, Jesus selected them for her to be her companion, not just anybody, because they can twist your words and get you off the road. So you have to have specific people around you. Let in with joy and gladness. So we have to have joy and gladness. They enter the palace of the king. Wow, in joy and gladness. I would be joyful and gladness to enter the palace of my king. I would. And knowing that is Jesus, that is I long so much for, and I was looking for so long just to be with him. I would be in joyful, walking in joy and gladness just to enter the palace of the king. Wow. The king who is waiting on you and me, on us. I know it says about the bride as a female, but if you're male and then you are watching this Bible study, it's about you as well, even though it says the bride, because the bride is the church, which are people saved in the blood of Jesus. So you and me. So don't put yourself, down. You are going to enter. I know it's hard to see yourself with a dress and all that, but you are the bride. We are the bride of Christ. Let's move on. And what it says here. So this is, I would say, now just say that the marriage is consumed and all that, and it says like your sons will take the place of your father. It's talking about the generation to come after you, how blessed they are. You will make them princes throughout the land, because your generation to come, you are the bride of Christ. Like you are, the only thing you want is God and nobody else. I'll say, well, the Father, you want Jesus, you want their way. That's all what you want. And your generation that comes after you reflects your worth for God, reflects what you have. Like your love for Jesus is so intense, is so much that even your children, your sons, it says sons, which are your generation to come, they're built in that righteousness, and then you will make them princes throughout the land, because through your work you're going to help your children to build a relation with Jesus as well, to get them like to pass like a baton, to pass to your generation, and they will be princes throughout the land. I love that part. Wow, I love it. And just to think about like how much you have, you never lose anything by following Jesus. You never. And I say, we do go through lots of trial and tribulation, but at the end, it's worth it, everything, because look at your generation. Your generation will be established as princesses throughout the land. Wow. And take the place of your fathers, which means the fathers, it's in the kingdom, like will be reflecting Jesus. It's what it tells here. It reflects Jesus, his character, his actions, everything. Your children will be reflecting Jesus. Verse 17, I will perpetuate your memory throughout all generations. Therefore, the nations will praise you forever and ever, which will enhance all those memory through all generations, like from generation to generations to come. People will remember you. You will remember that person who followed Jesus. I remember he or she was a person of God. It was that love for Jesus. It was so intense. You can feel it. You can sense. You can hear the voice. You can hear in the voice. You can see in their actions. So that memory will go through generation and generation. And then the nations will praise you and me forever and ever, because it says, wow. Well, we'll praise God, but they're praising like, wow. That tells you like, that person, I met that person, you cannot believe about that person. It's just like, it's just a voice when you start talking. It's that calmness in the voice. It's like Jesus' voice. Because when you stay, we're in the chamber with Jesus, like consuming like a marriage, and it's impossible to not be changed. You'll be changed. I believe it or not, you will be changed. You'll be more like Jesus, because and it reflects that in you, your generation, and people and nations will see that, and they praise you for that. Wow. And not just that, think about the word for God, that I want to be like that person. Give me the secret. What is your secret? And he says, well, I spend time with Jesus. Not like that, nights and days. I pray, I stay with him, I worship him. And you say what you're doing for Jesus, and how you overcame all the situations, all the tribulation, all the trials, and where you ended, and you never feel sorry, because Jesus will never let you go. He will always have his right hand, he says this psalm, on you. It's with you. He's a warrior. Think about that. He's a warrior. He's a beloved. He's your beloved. He's my beloved. So, and also, before even you consider get married, have this in your heart. Have Jesus in your heart. And the love for Jesus, it's unique. It's not like a husband and wife in the real life. It's more intense, because it's just the power that comes with it, and you feel that it gives you peace. Your probably your husband or your wife may give you through the words, through psalms, and lift you up and give you, and you acquire like peace. But the peace that Jesus gives you, the love that Jesus gives you, nobody gives you. And so it's unique. It's unique. If you experience that, you know what I mean. Wow. I love it. I love this one. I read a couple of times. I hope I will memorize this. I love it so much. And hopefully in the future we'll do the Songs of Solomon. That's more intense, and through the translations and concords and all that, we'll probably in the future we may do maybe a chapter by chapter, just to see how Jesus loves us so much. I hope you enjoy this Bible study as much as I enjoy it. Till next time, I say goodbye. Goodbye now.